Mic check 1 2. This is the official mic check 1 2 1 2 for Sirius Mindz. We're checking the microphone. We got the visuals on deck. Come on. Yeah. Hey, it's Q. What's good? Alex Little, what's popping off? Alright. Peace, Isaiah Bryant. Peace, family. How's everybody doing? Alright, we're checking the microphone. We got Shane on deck. Peace, Queen. Miss Soleil is on. We got 16 on deck in the building. Alright. It's a blessing to have you too, Brother Robert. Really appreciate you, man. Jay Archibald, what's going on? Serious Killmonger, what's good with you? Nicole. Alright. Hassan Burton. Leslie Shell, how you feel? Darren Watson, what's happening? Peace, peace, peace. What's good? What's good? What's good? All right. First of all, let me say, it's cool to live in a nice neighborhood, but dude across the street with that loud ass damn mower, 9 o'clock at damn night in the dark mowing the lawn. How you do that? Soleil, what's up with your neighbors, man? No, I'm just saying. And it's loud as hell. It's some Texas Chainsaw Massacre type shills in it, for real, man. No, I'm dead ass, for real. It's like, I know y'all hear that. Don't try to play it off like it ain't nothing in the background. Like, anyway, my name is Professor Griff, and this is Sirius Mindz for Sirius Mindz. Seriously, everyone, and yeah, I'm gonna have to give dude a name across the street, man. We're gonna call his ass George Jefferson, man. We're gonna call this dude. Man. Anyway, peace, hotep, shalom, assalamu alaikum, good evening. How's everyone doing? Hope y'all had a beautiful Malcolm X weekend. And we're here on Sirius Mindz. It's Professor Griff, and we're here to do part 2 in celebration and in honor of our good brother, Malcolm X. Alright? So we're definitely going to, we're going to tap into some quotes. We're going to tap into some video. We're going to tap into a few things from that our good brother, Malcolm X, is giving us. Alright? So, but of course, we want to bring y'all into the discussion, definitely. And we want to let everybody know, we want to thank everybody that have tuned in over the weekend for our impromptu kind of broadcast in the park, because it was just, yeah, it was loud. We was worried about the copyright infringement thing because they were playing songs, house music, all kind of stuff. It was loud. There's a lot of people, but we tried to give y'all something. It just didn't work. All right, so thank everybody for tuning in over the weekend. Malcolm X Day in the park, Malcolm X Park on the west end of the ATL. All right, so thank for all of the supporters. Thank to all the supporters. Really appreciate that. All right, and of course, our moderator, 16. Let's give her a round of applause. A black power fist, a hand clap, peace sign, deuces, thumbs up, something. All right, thank you, 16. Really appreciate you. And all of the Sirius Mindz family that come on every night, like Block Boy, Alex Little, other people, Quan, Carrie A, Great Filibuster, Bryce, Need to Know, Arthur, everybody that come on. Thank y'all very much. Really appreciate that. What we're going to try to do is duplicate that and get other people on. Janice Meeks, Hassan Burton. Alright. Really appreciate everyone. All right. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So the topics for tonight, we're going to deal with Malcolm X celebration part 2. If you would like to donate and contribute to Sirius Mindz platform, all right, right down on the bottom right here, you can, right here, if you just read it, it's scrolling right here. I'm not sure if you'll see that. All right. So it's right here. I think it says PayPal. Oh, okay. Cash App, $ProfessorGrtiff. You can also donate at paypal.me/ProfessorGrtiff Corp. Pardon me. And of course, 16 can put it up for us so everyone can catch it. Really appreciate that. All right. Anyway, in the meantime, between time, we want to thank everybody here on YouTube. Definitely on the super chat. Thank you for your donations in advance. Really appreciate that. All the donations that you've given in the past. All right. We're trying to develop this system where we can, when you donate, we can instantly get the information out to you. All right. And of course, we want to thank everybody that have the desire to donate, but just don't have the funds. And I know some people with food stamps and you just can't send food stamps, but I want to thank everybody. If you're sitting on an EBT card, I'm just saying, I know you got the desire, but you can't do nothing with that EBT card. But we really appreciate you. All right. This platform and everyone involved with Sirius Mindz and Sirius Mindz growth of the platform, all right, we're about the business of raising the vibrational pitch of our people's thinking into the mind of the Creator. All right. And of course, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that the black woman is the second self of God. All right, the co-creator. And we're standing on the shoulders of the ancestors and kneeling at the feet of the elders. All right. Thank you very much. And as we always say, we need y'all to keep in mind that small minds discuss people. Average minds discuss events, and great minds discuss ideas. Tonight, we're going to bring all those together. The culmination of all of those, and we're going to discuss our good brother, Malcolm X. Alright? Yeah. Hold on. Yes, I realized I did that after it was too late and I couldn't call it back. So, I'm going to send you a couple of dollars. Send it back to me. Alright? I made a mistake and sent out 2 copies of the Warrior's Tapestry to the same person. That happens. Alright. Alright. First of all, we're going to start off like this. And we're going to start off real simple and plain. Tell me the name that Malcolm X's name before he passed away. What was Malcolm X's name? We say his righteous name. Alright? Because you only take an X. Alright? When you get rid of your slave master's name. Alright? So what was Malcolm X's name? And then for those of us that are extra bright, intelligent, and on point. Alright? What does his name mean? Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Alright, now, hold up. I don't want to miss it. El Hajj Malik Shabazz. Hassan Burton, you got to check on that. I'm not sure if that's absolutely correct. El Hajj Malik El Shabazz is correct. What does his name mean? What does his name mean? Your girl was dead wrong, man. If she said Michelangelo. No. What does Malcolm X's name mean? El Hajj Malik El Shabazz. What does that mean? Alright, let's give a shout out to my man Shane on deck doing the engineering. As always, making this channel look the way it looked. Alright, bringing it up to par, up to speed. Alright.
I like coming to some at urgent care because they keep my wait times low.
How come this thing is not? Oh, I see. I got it now. Alright. Alright. 16 said, Shane. She gave you 3 power fists, bro. What does the name mean? Come on, brothers and sisters. Come on, fam. Help me out. What does the name mean? We're not going to stay stuck on that. While you're figuring that out, we're going to dive right into the subject. All right? Tonight's subject, we're talking about our good brother, Malcolm X. And, of course, I'm representing. I got the handcrafted Malcolm X t-shirt. I don't know how long I had this, but I'm not even sure if I remember the brother's name that gave this to me. But, yeah, this is definitely on point, man, for real. All right? Thanks to the brother. Really appreciate you, man, for the handcrafted Malcolm X shirt. Really appreciate you. Alright? Thank you very much. Beautiful piece of artwork, man. On a t-shirt. Alright? Alright. So now, what we want to okay. Means Muslim who went on a Hajj pilgrimage. Malik is the king. El Shabazz refers to the ancient African tribe according to the doctrine of the Nation of Islam. Woo! Let's give J. Archibald a round of applause, everybody. Come on, y'all gotta give it up. Really appreciate that. One last question. I want to go deeper into that, J. Archibald. Who was the tribe of Shabazz? Who was the tribe of Shabazz? Come on now. You got people walking around here that still use the name Shabazz. Wanique Shabazz. Richard Shabazz. Who else? What's the brother that did the educational videos? Raheem Shabazz. Nisa Shabazz. Alright? So we said that name Shabazz was, I'm going to let y'all tell me. As 16 said, let the people answer. Shabazz is a black architecture whose tribe founded the population of Africa. I'm not sure about that, Carrie A. Brother Michael Yasser, the Asiatic black man. We got to go a little bit deeper than that. Come on, y'all. But anyway, in the meantime, between time, we're going to start tonight off with hearing a short talk from our good brother, Malcolm X. And he's going to be dealing with, I want to play the Oxford debate, but I want to be able to kind of confront some things like police brutality, the white man, the devil, and some of these things that we said we were going to talk about. Alright, today. So I'm going to get back to the Oxford debate. I'm going to get back to a few other things. Alright. So, alright, let's talk. This is our good brother, Malcolm X. April 27, 1962. Alright, Malcolm X's fiery speech addressing police brutality. Dealing with the situation in Los Angeles where 2 Muslim brothers, believed were shot.
in order for you and me to devise some kind of method or strategy to offset some of the events or repetition of the events that have taken place here in Los Angeles recently, we have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough. And it is because of our effort toward getting straight to the root that people oftentimes think we're dealing in hate.
Waiting room only for
we are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man?
That's right.
Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips?
Come on.
Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate, you should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you? And I, for one, as a Muslim, believe that the white man is intelligent enough. If he were made to realize how black people really feel and how fed up we are without that old compromise and sweet talk. Stop sweet talking him. Tell him how you feel. Tell him what kind of hell you've been catching, and let him know that if he's not ready to clean his house up, if he's not ready to clean his house up, he shouldn't have a house. It should catch on fire and burn down.
So what do we think about that? This is Malcolm X responding now on a grassroots level to the addressing police brutality in Los Angeles, California. I'm not sure how people that are viewing Malcolm X through a distorted lens, a lens that was distorted by your open enemy, a lens that was distorted by the United States government, so they could set up and manipulate and control and shape the way you view Malcolm X. Malcolm X, by his own admission, and the story that Malcolm told when he came into the Nation of Islam, he said he was a hustler. He was a street hustler. He was a pimp.
Monday.com is a team.
He was a pimp. He was robbing people, breaking into homes. He was a thief, petty thief. He was even pimping black women. Alright? But Malcolm X went to jail. And Malcolm X heard the word of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad in prison. Alright? And then from that point forward, Malcolm X stated that he read everything in the prison library. He read the dictionary, the Bible, anything that he can get his hands on. And when he came out of prison, they brought him to see the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. That changed his entire life. Alright? That changes his entire life. So I'm going to go over some history, play some clips, but I'm going to ask the family some questions. Malcolm's dad, what organization did Malcolm X's dad belong to? Come on now. The UNIA. He was under Garvey. He was under Marcus Mosiah Garvey and the UNIA. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. All right. Thank you very much. Marcus Garvey's organization. All right. Now, how did his mom die? How did Malcolm X's mother die? Because, see, these are some of the things that helped shape and mold Malcolm. All right. How did Malcolm X's dad and mother die? All right. While you're looking that up, Malcolm X said, "A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything." A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything. All right. It says one of the most influential, they say, African Americans in history, but Malcolm X overly stated that he was a black man. All right. And even when we go over the history of Malcolm X, we got to even correct some of the things because they're shaping and molding the narrative on how you view Brother Malcolm. All right. Malcolm's family was subjected to frequent harassment that ended up tragically. How did his father die? His mother was in a mental institution, okay, and she passed away. His father was murdered. His father was murdered by whom, though? Yeah, his dad was murdered on a railroad track. Absolutely correct. So these are some of the things that shape and molded Malcolm X. Malcolm said, "You're not to be so blind with patriotism that you can't face reality. Wrong is wrong, no matter who does it or who says it. You can't be that blind with patriotism." Ain't you gonna tell your friend that? Can't be that blind. All right. There's no better. There is no better than adversity. Every defeat, every heartbreak, every loss contains in its own seed, its own lesson on how to improve your performance the next time. Education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to the people that prepare for it today. All right. This is Malcolm. What was Malcolm's nickname in the hood? What was Malcolm's nickname in the hood? Come on. What was Malcolm's nickname in the hood? Nah, Griffin. Yeah, you gotta come better than that, man. You said, okay, they called him Red. But come on, man, they called him Detroit Red. All right, Detroit Red. We got to get it right because we're responsible for passing the information down to that generation coming behind us. Let's get it. Let's get this based on actual facts. If you're not ready to die for it, put the word freedom out of your vocabulary. This is what Malcolm said. If you claim that you want to be free, then we have to be able to set up an infrastructure so where we can be free. You understand what I'm saying? But if you're not ready to die for that particular freedom, put the word freedom out of your vocabulary. These is Malcolm's quotes, not Professor Griff. All right? Peace, Johnny Taylor. What's good with you, bro? All right? Truth is on the side of the oppressed. All right? Truth is on the side of the oppressed. Malcolm said, so early in my life, I had learned that if you want something, you had better make some noise, man. You better make some noise. All right? These are some quotes by Malcolm X. Now, what I want to ask y'all, what's your favorite Malcolm X quote? Can I get that? What's your favorite Malcolm X quote? Help me out. If y'all give me the Denzel lot by any means necessary. All right, I can rock with that. Walaikum salam, man. All right, that's your favorite Malcolm quote? Everybody must have tapped into them. Come on now, what's your favorite Malcolm X quote? How can anyone be against love? Okay. Malcolm said, looks like the chickens have come home to roost. UptownEducation.net coming through. Freedom by any means necessary. You're an African. You are African who happens to be in America. All right. Woo. Bryce Clemens, peace, man. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. All right. Intelligence is self-defense. Woo. The ballot or the bullet. Woo. Okay. The ballot or the bullet. Let's play Malcolm.
We need an organization that no one downtown loves. We need one that's ready and willing to take action. Any kind of action. Not when the men downtown sees fit, but when we see fit. By any means necessary. Let us agree that the blow must be struck. And let us agree what type of blow must be struck, and at whom the blow should be struck, and then those who don't go along with that strike, we can struck them first. Black people should realize that freedom is something that they have when they're born. Anyone who stands in their way of freedom is their enemy. Yes? Anyone who stands in the way of your and my freedom, our human dignity, is a cold-blooded, blue-eyed enemy. And we can never acquire human dignity until we eliminate that which stands in the way of us and our dignity. The man that kidnapped us and brought us here, who made a slave out of us, who hung us on trees, who raped our mothers. I don't have to tell you which man. Because we intend to fire our people up so much until if they can't have their equal share in the house, they'll burn it down.
That's Malcolm X sending a message out to white people. And this is what it says. And you can go back and look at all of these Malcolm X short clips on YouTube. And I mean, you can hear it for yourself. You ain't got to listen to Professor Griff and my assessment of it. I am playing it so we can have a discussion. All right? We opening up the discussion so we can discuss the life, the legacy, the struggles of our good brother Malcolm X. All right? This next one is a speech dealing with democracy. All right?
But don't scare Negroes today with no badge or no white skin or no white sheet or no white anything else. The police the same way. They put their club upside your head and then turn around and accuse you of attacking them. Every case of police brutality against a Negro follows the same pattern. They attack you, bust you all upside your mouth, and then take you to court and charge you with assault. What kind of democracy is that? What kind of freedom is that? What kind of social or political system is it when a black man has no voice in court, has nothing on his side other than what the white man chooses to give him? Our brothers and sisters, we have to put a stop to this. And it will never be stopped until we stop it ourselves. They attack the victim. And then the criminal who attacked the victim accuses the victim of attacking him. Yes, this is American justice. Yes, that's right. This This is American democracy. And those of you who are familiar with it know that in America, democracy is hypocrisy.
So the question I want to ask the family here is, what is democracy? Are we presently living under a democracy right now in America? Help me out, y'all. Are we presently living under a democracy? Sitting at the table doesn't make you a diner. You must be eating some of what's on the plate. Being in America doesn't make you an American. Being born here in America doesn't make you an American. You could put kittens in the oven. When they get done and pull them out, they still ain't biscuits, they kittens. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is the point that Malcolm was making to some of our people that just didn't understand. Brandell Bowen, thank you very much, good brother. Really appreciate you. As always, man. As always, definitely thank you very much. So what is democracy? Democracy is demon rules. Hassan Burton, you on it. All right? But why? Where are you getting that definition of democracy? Let's look up the Latin root to democracy. What is democracy? Help me out. Demon rules. Democracy means demon rules. When they replace the people in office with accountable candidates, then we will become a demo public. Okay? Free and equal action. Free and equal elections, pardon me. Totalitarian dictatorship. The ideas of a single leader or group leaders glorified. The government seeks to control all aspects of social and economic life in America. Thanks, Shane. Shane on getting his research on over here. Alright? The bipartisan system was designed to fail. What is bipartisan, though? Explain to the people what is bipartisan. And explain to the people what is plutocracy. Alright? We want to be able to break things down on a level where everyone can get it. So if you're sitting up here on the 8th floor and we don't understand it on the 3rd floor, come on down and explain it to us. Why is this government a fascist system? Explain these concepts. Alright, Janice Meeks says it's a system of government. Let's go deeper than that. Why is everyone saying, Janice Meeks, that it's democracy is the demon's rule? The word demo is people, according to Jordan Maxwell. Alright? Demo is people. Alright? Ocracy is what? What is ocracy? Plural or more than one. Demos is common people. Kratos, strength of rule, from the Latin democratis. Alright? The oligarchy, the rule of a few, includes both aristocracy, ruled by nobility, and plutocracy, ruled by the wealthy. Is this a plutocracy? Is this ruled by the wealthy? Alright? Why did Malcolm X think that white people were evil? Let's hear from Malcolm himself.
Malcolm, how do you yourself feel about the white man?
I believe that the white man has done a great injustice to the black man in this country by having kidnapped our people and brought us here and down to the level that we're on today. And today, instead of approaching the factors that their original mistake has created, instead of approaching these factors objectively and realistically, the greatest sin that they're doing now is trying to pretend that they never committed a crime, that they never did any wrong. And when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad points out the injustices that our people are suffering, they make that sin worse by accusing him of teaching hate, or by accusing him of black supremacy, or by accusing him of advocating violence, simply because he is pointing out the real factors in the problem.
Malcolm.
What did Malcolm X teach hate? This is the question I was hearing when I was growing up from not only white people but black people, and they regurgitate this on the news, and the alphabet boys constantly put this kind of information out there. Did Malcolm X teach hate? Did Malcolm X teach hate? Come on, help me out. How is it that, and I'm fast forwarding now. How is it that people can love hip hop but hate black people, which hip hop came from? So you love the culture, you participate in the culture, but you hate from where the source of where the culture comes from. Come on, man. Y'all help me out with that. How's that possible? All right. So Malcolm X says you can't hate the root of the tree without hating the tree. All right. So let's hear what Malcolm X had to say about that.
Why should the black man in America concern himself, since we've been away from the African continent for 400 years, 300 or 400 years? Why should we concern ourselves? What impact does what happened to them have upon us? Number one, first you have to realize that up until 1959, Africa was dominated by the colonial powers, and by the colonial powers of Europe having complete control over Africa, they projected the image of Africa negatively. They projected Africa always in a negative light. Jungles, savages, cannibals, nothing civilized. And naturally it was so negative until it was negative to you and me. And you and I began to hate it. We didn't want anybody to tell us anything about Africa, and much less call us an African. And in hating Africa and hating the African, we ended up even hating ourselves without even realizing it. Because you can't hate the roots of a tree and not hate the tree. You can't hate your origin and not end up hating yourself. You can't hate Africa and not hate yourself. And you show me one of these people over here who have been thoroughly brainwashed, who has a negative attitude toward Africa, and I'll show you one that has a negative attitude toward himself. You can't have a negative attitude toward yourself, a positive attitude toward yourself, and a negative attitude toward Africa at the same time. To the same degree that your attitude, that your understanding of an attitude toward Africa becomes positive, you'll find that your understanding of and your attitude toward yourself will also become positive. And this is what the white man knows.
So let's understand the dynamic now. How is it that you understand that? What did you draw and pull from that? You see, it's about time that we start putting our leaders, our ancestors' work and life under the microscope, so we can draw up some information for ourselves as opposed to getting it through the lens of our open enemy. All right? All right? So, we want to try to highlight the positive aspects of what Malcolm X gave us. All right? So here's Malcolm X in 1963. It says Malcolm goes beast on white liberal. Okay. You think we might want to hear Malcolm X's assessment on the field Negro and the house Negro? I think that might be a little bit more befitting right now. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me cue it up. They said, brother, you should have had it queued up.
With master. They dressed pretty good. They ate good because they ate his food. What he left. They lived in the attic or the basement, but still they lived near their master. And they loved their master more than the master loved himself. They would give their life to save their master's house quicker than the master would.
That's right. Come on.
The house Negro, if the master said, we got a good house here, the house Negro said, yeah, we got a good house here. Whenever the master said we, he said we. That's how you can tell a house Negro. If the master's house caught on fire, the house Negro would fight harder to put the blaze out than the master would.
That's right.
If the master got sick, the house Negro would say, what's the matter, boss? We sick. We sick. He identified himself with his master more than his master identified with himself.
That's right.
And if you came to the house Negro and said, let's run away, let's escape, let's separate, that house Negro would look at you and say, man, you crazy. What you mean separate?
Right.
Where is there a better house than this? Where can I wear better clothes than this? Where can I eat better food than this? That was that house Negro. In those days, he was called a house nigger.
Okay.
And that's what we call him today, because we still got some house niggers running around here.
In a modern day context, what do y'all think about that? Do we still have some house niggas running around here today? Now, he said that back in the 60s. Here it is 2019, almost 2020. All right? Do we have this same issue today? And I'm not asking you to name them. I'm just saying. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be this antagonistic kind of individual. 1963, Malcolm X, Message to the Grassroots. Thank you, 16. So, I'm not asking anybody to name who these individuals are, but what constitutes, what's the difference between a field Negro and a house Negro? We talking about house Negroes now. So you said 1,000%. They're all on ESPN, CNN, Fox, etc. Okay. So today they said the house Negroes we call coons. All right. House Negro goes along to get along. All right. Compromising integrity for a paycheck. That sounds like somebody recently, Alice Little. Compromising integrity for a paycheck. Someone said the Boule Negroes. So if this is a real dynamic in what we're dealing with today, how do you offset that? All right, and where's the Malcolm X of today that's offsetting this thing? All right, keep in mind, Malcolm was a Muslim. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not sure how many people. Shout out to all the beautiful brothers and sisters that performed at the Malcolm X celebration this weekend in Atlanta, Georgia. Shout out to Wanique Shabazz. Shout out to RFG. Shout out to all the brothers and sisters that put it down. All right. I mean, hell, I even saw Herb Alchemist out there putting it down. You understand what I'm saying? Janice Meeks, you killing me. But you're right. That's right, Callie. You are Malcolm, exactly. All right. So let's understand this dynamic when we're hearing the intonation of Malcolm's voice and what we can pull from what Malcolm is saying. All right?
This modern house Negro loves his master.
That's right.
He wants to live near him.
Yep.
He'll pay 3 times as much as the house is worth just to live near his master. And then brag about, I'm the only Negro out here. I'm the only one on my job. I'm the only one in this school. You're nothing but a house Negro. And if someone come to you right now and say, let's separate, you say the same thing that the house Negro said on the plantation. What you mean separate? From America? This good white man? Where you gonna get a better job than you get here? I mean, this is what you say. I ain't left nothing in Africa. That's what you say. Why, you left your mind in Africa.
That's right. That's right. What did Malcolm mean by that? Told the black man you left your mind in Africa. What does that mean? How does that resonate with you? What did we leave in Africa? All right. Now I know some people are about to come up on in the chat, and you're gonna start talking about, well, we're not from Africa. Slavery didn't exist, and blah 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 blah. Miss me, man, for real. So what was it in Africa that we left? Our self-awareness and point of origin. Thank you, Alex Little. We left our culture in Africa. Our culture, our customs, the drum. We left our religion, our names, our original way of life, our identity. We left trade. We left our pride. Culture, heritage, spirituality, our total being is in Africa. Let's hear what Malcolm has to say.
On that same plantation, there was the field Negro. The field Negro, those were the masses. There was always more Negroes in the field than there was Negroes in the house. The Negro in the field caught hell. He ate leftovers. In the house, they ate high up on the hole.
Wow.
The Negro in the field didn't get nothing but what was left of the insides of the hole. They call them chitlins nowadays.
How many people still eating chitlins? I mean chitlins, excuse me. Chitlins? I would never in my life, man. I smelled my mom cooking that. I'm like, Mom, I know you a country girl and all that. I ain't no Mom. We not eating no chitlins, man, for real. Hell no. I don't even know anybody that still eats chitlins. Who still eats chitlins? Soleil. Who eats chitlins? Can you help me out? Do you know anybody that eats chitlins? I know none of the women on here that's watching this still making pork chops for your husband, your boyfriend, whoever. Come on, man, stop. Stop that, man. Yeah, somebody said a whole lot of people in D.C. still eating pig, still eating pork chops. That's the first thing that had to go when you join the nation. Your last name and that damn pork, man. No pork on my fork. No swine on my mind. That was the saying. That was the t-shirt. For real. Come on, man. let's get back to what Malcolm said. We're gonna before we end, we're gonna play the Oxford debate. All right, before we get out of here.
Those days they call them what they were, guts. That's what you were, a gut eater.
Hey, a gut eater.
And some of you all still gut eaters.
That's right.
The field Negro was beaten from morning till night. He lived in a shack, in a hut.
That's right.
He wore cast-off clothes. And he hated his master. I say he hated his master. He was intelligent. That house Negro loved his master. But that field Negro, remember, they were in the majority. And they hated the master. When the house caught on fire, he didn't try and put it out. That field Negro prayed for a wind, for a breeze. When the master got sick, the field Negro prayed that he died. If someone come to the field Negro and said, let's separate, let's run, he didn't say, where are we going? He said, any place is better than here.
Any place is better than here. That's right. That's right. How many people did the homework assignment, man? We had a homework assignment, y'all. And we asked people to go look up The Hate That Hate Produced. All right? The Hate That Hate Produced was one of the documentary films about Malcolm. What was the other one? Minister Malcolm was one, and 16. Help me out. Ballot of the Bullet. Ballot of the Bullet. Minister Malcolm. The Hate That Hate Produced. Ah, that's right. I think 16. I think one of them was Make It Plain. Yeah, thank you. All right. Yeah. It was Make It Plain. All right. So now let's go over, let's see what Malcolm had to say about black women and marriage.
Yep.
Once your work is finished, don't watch the television. Once your work is finished, find something constructive to add to your mind. Have an hour for reading. And I don't mean read comic books. Read something that will make you know what's happening.
Hey, wait, Malcolm. I got a comic book, bro. Hold on, bro. Nah, that's the wrong clip, man. I think that's the right clip, but that one had music behind it. I don't want no music behind it. Hold on one second.
Once your work is finished, don't watch the television.
That's right.
Once your work is finished, find something constructive to add to your mind. Have an hour for reading. And I don't mean read comic books. Read something that will make you know what's happening. So when you get in a conversation, you can sound intelligent, even if you aren't. Do you hear me what I'm saying?
Yeah, brother.
Why, what kind of man want a wife today who can't hold a conversation?
That's right.
No, don't a man want to sit up and talk to you about babies, about Johnny needs some shoes. Your husband don't even want to hear that. One of the reasons you have trouble in your house is you can't carry an intelligent adult conversation. When your husband was dead, you talk trash. That's all you talk trash. Now he come out, he's a Muslim. He want to talk about Yaqub. He want to talk about the sun, moon, and star. He want to talk about cracking atoms. Even if he don't know what he's talking about, that's what he want to talk about.
He said, even if you don't know what he's talking about, that's what he want to talk about. Exposing the new danger. Okay. Johnny Taylor, that's a book. Exposing the New Dangers of Pork, Earth's Organic Waste Disposal, by Nasir M. Hakim. All right. All right. All right.
I'm telling you this so you won't lose your husband. All of you will agree that your husband is more serious once he became a Muslim than he was when he was a Christian. He's serious. Now, you can't hold no man down like you used to, talking some trash about sister so-and-so. And I'm telling you, that'll drive a man crazy. No, go get a book and read it. And then when he come in the house, start talking to him about something that's going to nourish his mind and nourish your mind.
All right, bro. This is My Enemies Necessary, Malcolm X.
Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies. Everybody is here. As many of you know, last March, when it was announced that I was no longer in the Black Muslim movement, it was pointed out that it was my intention to work among the 22 million non-Muslim Afro-Americans and to try and form some type of organization or create a situation where the young people, our young people, the students and others, could study the problems of our people for a period of time and then come up with a new analysis and give us some new ideas and some new suggestions.
Thank you, 16.
As to how to approach a problem that too many other people had been playing around with for too long. And that we would have some kind of meeting and determine at a later date whether to form a black nationalist party or a black nationalist army.
All right, keep in mind that we're not checking out of here at 10. We're just gonna go a little bit longer until we get, to the root of this about Malcolm. So just bear with me. I hope none of y'all at work hiding under the cubicle or whatever. All right, so we're gonna continue forward.
There have been many of our people across the country from all walks of life who have taken it upon themselves to try and pool their ideas and to come up with some kind of solution to the problem that confronts all of our people. And tonight we are here to try and get an understanding of what it is they've come up with. Also, recently, when I was blessed to make a trip or a pilgrimage, a religious pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca, where I met many people from all over the world, plus spent many weeks in Africa, trying to broaden my own scope and get more of an open mind to look at the problem as it actually is. One of the things...
Oh, let me stop that. I'm reading this thing, 16. Black women may not be divine, but the womb is. No, the black woman is divine. No question about that. Alright? As for me, as a woman, I fill up, divine dwells in me. No, you are divine. Alright? Closer to my jugular vein, and I know I come from. Okay. If there's a man around you that's not dealing with you and treating you like you're divine, then you might need to change the people around you. I think it was Chuck D said, if you can't change the people around you, then change the people around you. Alright?
Things that I realized, and I realized this even before going over there, was that our African brothers have gained their independence faster than you and I here in America have. They've also gained recognition and respect as human beings much faster than you and I. Just 10 years ago on the African continent, our people were colonized. They were suffering all forms of colonization, oppression, exploitation, degradation, humiliation, discrimination, and every other kind of Asian. And in a short time, they have gained more independence, more recognition, more respect as human beings than you and I have. And you and I live in a country which is supposed to be the citadel of education, freedom, justice, democracy, and all of those other pretty sounding words. So it was our intention to try and find out what was our African brothers doing to get results so that you and I could study what they had done and perhaps gain from that study or benefit from their experiences.
That's right.
And my traveling over there was designed to help to find out how. One of the first things that the independent African nations did was to form an organization called the Organization of African Unity.
Let me lower that. Now let's understand something. Someone asked me why am I playing this? I'm playing this because there's some people that may hear this that probably never heard Malcolm. All right, that's probably never sat in an environment like this. All right, that will help them understand some things, because if we put information out here, you could go on YouTube and you could study and watch clips all day and all night, but you may not be able to draw up an understanding. But once we have a conversation like this and we put it out there, we're connected with other people that may have that information. So I think this is a beautiful way to do it. Let Malcolm speak for himself.
The purpose of our organization is to start right here in Harlem.
All right?
The largest concentration of people of African descent that exists anywhere on this earth. There are more Africans here in Harlem than exist in any city on the African continent. Because that's what you and I are, Africans. The Charter of the United Nations, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the Constitution of the United States, and the Bill of Rights are the principles in which we believe, and that these documents, if put into practice, represent the essence of mankind's hopes and good intentions, desirous that all Afro-American people and organizations should henceforth unite so that the welfare and well-being of our people will be assured. We are resolved to reinforce the common bond of purpose between our people by submerging all of our differences and establishing non-sectarian constructive programs for human rights. We hereby present this charter. Number one, the establishment. The Organization of Afro-American Unity shall include all people of African descent in the Western Hemisphere. In essence, what it is saying, instead of you and me running around here seeking allies in our struggle for freedom, in the Irish neighborhood or the Jewish neighborhood or the Italian neighborhood, we need to seek some allies among people who look something like we do. And once we get their allies, it's time out for you and me to stop running away from the wolf right into the arms of the fox, looking for some kind of help. That's a drag. Number two, self-defense.
Self-defense, man. Let's look at that.
Since self-preservation,
That's right,
is the first law of nature, we assert the Afro-Americans' right to self-defense. The Constitution of the United States of America clearly affirms the right of every American citizen to bear arms. And as Americans, we will not give up a single right guaranteed under the Constitution. The history of unpunished violence against our people clearly indicates that we must be prepared to defend ourselves, or we will continue to be a defenseless people at the mercy of a ruthless and violent racist mob.
All right. So I hope people would appreciate the idea of us coming together and not getting on here for 2 hours and just talking about what we think about Malcolm X, but coming on here to get an understanding, to hear Malcolm for himself and let Malcolm speak for himself, to get a deeper understanding of who Malcolm X was. All right. Is Joe 9881? Thank you very much, brother. All right. So now, let's not see a lot of people. Johnny Taylor, thank you very much, good brother. Really appreciate you as always, man. Let's not relegate Malcolm to a dirty street in some insignificant city somewhere. Let's not relegate Malcolm only to Black History Month. Let's not relegate Malcolm to a slogan or a T-shirt or a bumper sticker. All right. Let's not do that. Let's carry into practice those things that Malcolm X left us with. And we're hearing some of these things now. All right, so it says super rare. Malcolm X speech on separation or death. All right.
The all-wise, true and living God. Not a dead God, but a living God.
Okay.
You are gathered here this afternoon to hear the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's message, which you knew in advance was titled Separation or Death. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad has shown us how integration won't work. Since 7 years have passed since the Supreme Court issued the desegregation.
That one's too low. Let me find another one.
6% compliance with that Supreme Court law up at this moment. 6% in 7 years. Less than 1% per year. And these Negro leaders still walking around here thinking the white man is going to bring about integration. We who have had our eyes open.
Hold on.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad calls that token integration. And no one will accept token integration but a child.
You don't jump up against a divine messenger of God like he did. He asked to die. And God obliged you. No, you don't understand.
All right, here we go. What the? All right, so we're gonna go and we're gonna pull up Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. I don't necessarily want to hear that debate. If somebody's making a comparison, then I don't know about that. All right. I'm trying to find the Oxford debate so we can kind of piece that apart. All right. Hold on one second. Let me find the Oxford debate.
Well, they say travel broadens your scope, and as much traveling as I did during the past 5 weeks, I think I would be in bad shape if it didn't make my scope at least more broad than it was before I left. One of the things that I learned in the Muslim world, I didn't see any racism. I didn't see any conflict between the people over there because of the colors of their skin or the differences.
So let me ask you a question. Is there racism in the Muslim world? The question is there racism in the Muslim world? Alright? Is there racism in the Muslim world?
No, this was done by those who were guilty of all those things that the counterpart of all those things you just mentioned. The white people who were guilty of white supremacy try and hide their own guilt by accusing the Honorable Elijah Muhammad of teaching black supremacy when he tries to uplift the mentality, the social, mental, economic condition of black people in this country. And Jews who have been guilty of exploiting the black people in this country economically, civically, and otherwise hide their guilt by accusing the Honorable Elijah Muhammad of teaching, of being anti-Semitic simply because he teaches our people to go into business for ourselves and try and take over the economic leadership in our own community. And this other thing, white supremacy, anti-Semitism, and what was this other?
And hatred.
And hatred. And since the white people collectively have practiced the worst form of hatred against Negroes in this country, and they know that they are guilty of it, now when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad comes along and begins to list the historic deeds, the historic attitude, the historic behavior of the white man in this country toward the black people in this country, again, the white people are so guilty that they can't stop doing these things to make Mr. Muhammad appear wrong, so they hide their wrong by saying that he is teaching hatred. History is not hatred. Actually, we are Muslims because we believe in the religion of Islam. We believe in one God. We believe in Muhammad as the apostle of God. We practice the principles of the religion of Islam, which mean prayer, charity, fasting, brotherhood. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that since the Western society is deteriorating, it has become overrun with immorality, that God is going to judge it and destroy it. And the only way black people who are in this society can be saved is to not integrate into this corrupt society, but separate ourselves from it, reform ourselves, lift up our moral standards, and try and be godly instead of try and integrate with God instead of trying to integrate with the white man, or try and imitate God instead of trying to imitate with, the white man.
All right. So now, someone answered the question. You said there is racism in the Muslim world, or in Saudi Arabia, or in these quote-unquote Islamic countries. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, 16. Trolls are working overtime, man. But you strong, 16. Make it happen, man. All right. 16, who was that gave the donation? I was looking down. I didn't see it. Can you put their name back up for me so I can shout them out? All right. This is Malcolm X on creating a job for yourself.
If you...
All right, we're going to get right to it.
With your career...
Come on.
If white immigrants can come to this country 50 years ago with nickels and dimes and no education, and come here and pool their little nickels and dimes and no education, and set up little stores, develop these stores into larger stores, develop this into an industry, which creates job opportunities for whites. Since Lincoln was supposed to have freed the black man 100 years ago, and today the black man, according to the government economist, has spending power of $20 billion per year. We feel that with the black man spending $20 billion a year, not setting up any businesses, not creating any industry, not creating any job opportunities for his own kind, he's not in a moral position to point the finger today at the white man and tell the white man that he's discriminating against him for not giving him a job in factories that he himself set up. If the black man has $20 billion, and these so-called Negro leaders are such geniuses that they can integrate white restaurants and integrate white factories and force themselves into that which the white man has set up, they should use this same ingenuity to show the black people how to pool our wealth and set up something of our own. And then we won't have to force our way into his anymore. One more thing I would like to point out concerning what he said about 125th Street. We don't waste our time on 125th Street, but you can reach more people in the street who want to change than you can in the bourgeoisie society, the bourgeoisie church, and the bourgeoisie circles. Our program is directed toward the man in the street. So we spend our time in the street, and what we do with that man, instead of trying to change the white man in your mind, make you accept us, we change the mind of the black man and make him accept himself. And as soon as he accepts himself, he'll solve his own problem. He won't be trying to force himself into your factory and into your bedroom and into your kitchen.
I think that's befitting. Have we taken the message that Malcolm X received from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and put some of those principles and those things that Malcolm X taught, have we put those things into practice? All right, that's the question. Have we put those things into practice? I said earlier that Malcolm was a Muslim. Malcolm was clean. Malcolm wore suits all the time, like a businessman. Thank you, Carrie A. Really appreciate that. Kim, where do we find that at today, other than the Nation of Islam? Do we find that today? Have we taken the program that Malcolm X received from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad outside of the ranks, all right, of the Nation of Islam? Malcolm fasted, you're right. Malcolm prayed, all right? Malcolm ate 1 meal a day. So how many of us now? Come on, help me out. How many of us are following that program? All right? So I want to play the Oxford debate for a minute, and then we're gonna close it out. All right? Hold on. We're gonna skip the ad.
The problem isn't personal, and it's not individual. Our problem.
Here we go. All right, I'll be right back.
That as long as a white man does it, it's all right. A black man is supposed to have no feelings. But when a black man strikes back, he's an extremist. He's supposed to sit passively and have no feelings, be nonviolent, and love his enemy. No matter what kind of attack, be it verbal or otherwise, he's supposed to take it. But if he stands up and in any way tries to defend himself, then he's an extremist. No, I think that the speaker who preceded me is getting exactly what he asked for. My reason for believing in extremism, intelligently directed extremism, extremism in defense of liberty, extremism in quest of justice, is because I firmly believe in my heart that the day that the black man takes an uncompromising step and realizes that he's within his rights, when his own freedom is being jeopardized, to use any means necessary to bring about his freedom or put a halt to that injustice, I don't think he'll be by himself. That's right. I live in America where there are only 22 million blacks against probably 160 million whites. One of the reasons that I'm in no way reluctant or hesitant to do whatever is necessary to see that black people do something to protect themselves, I honestly believe that the day that they do, many whites will have more respect for them, and that there will be more whites on their side than are now on their side with these little wishy-washy love thy enemy approach that they've been using up to now.
So listen, 16. This is the Malcolm X Oxford Union debate, December 3rd, 1964. All right. If we're going to begin to understand Malcolm through the lens of academia, this is one of those speeches that we have to study. All right? It's one of those speeches we have to study. Now, I was 4 years old at the time. All right? I'm not sure if any of y'all was born. When were you born? You was born 30 years later? Yeah. All right? Oh, you posted it already? I'm late. All right, I'll be right back.
And if I'm wrong, then you're a racialist. As I said earlier, in my conclusion, I'm a Muslim. I believe in the religion of Islam. I believe in Allah. I believe in Muhammad. I believe in all of the prophets. I believe in fasting, prayer, charity, and that which is incumbent upon a Muslim to fulfill in order to be a Muslim. In April, I was fortunate to make the Hajj to Mecca and went back again in September to try and carry out my religious functions and requirements. But at the same time that I believe in that religion, I have to point out I'm also an American Negro. And I live in a society whose social system is based upon the castration of the black man, whose political system is based on castration of the black man, and whose economy is based upon the castration of the black man. A society which in 1964 has more subtle, deceptive, deceitful methods to make the rest of the world think that it's cleaning up its house, while at the same time the same things are happening to us in 1964 that happened in 1954, 1924, and in 1984. They came up with what they call a civil rights bill in 1964, supposedly to solve our problem, and after the bill was signed, 3 civil rights workers were murdered in cold blood. And the FBI head, Hoover, admits that they know who did it. They've known ever since it happened, and they've done nothing about it. Civil rights bill down the drain. No matter how many bills pass, black people in that country, where I'm from, still our lives are not worth 2 cents. And the government has shown its inability, or either its unwillingness, to do whatever is necessary to protect life and property where the black American is concerned. So my contention is that whenever a people come to the conclusion that the government which they have supported proves itself unwilling or proves itself unable to protect our lives and protect our property because we have the wrong color skin, we are not human beings unless we ourselves band together and do whatever, however, whenever is necessary to see that our lives and our property is protected. And I doubt that any person in here would refuse to do the same thing were he in the same position, or I should say were he in the same condition. One step farther to see am I justified in this stand. And I say, I'm speaking as a black man from America, which is a racist society. No matter how much you hear it talk about democracy, it's as racist as South Africa, or as racist as Portugal, as racist as any other racist society on this earth. The only difference between it and South Africa preaches separation and practices separation. America preaches integration and practices segregation.
All right, so let me ask a question. All right. Come on. Maybe you can help me answer this question. Maybe Soleil can help me answer this question also. If an African country or African countries decided to take 20 million of us in and support us so we can build our own country, a land that we can call our own, and build a separate society so we can educate ourselves, teach our people, be among our people. How many people y'all think will go? Come on. How many people will, come on, help me out, y'all. How many people will go? Harold Taylor, what's up, man? You still in D.C. area? Luis, how you feel, man? Morales, what's going on? Shaniqua Muhammad, peace. How many people would go? Shaniqua Muhammad said, I'm out. Count me in. DT said, I'm in. Damn, need to know said, a lot less than 20 million. America would sabotage their plan. They don't want us to leave. They make money off of us. Woo. A small amount of us because America's all we know. Not necessarily. There's black people that do travel now. Alright. Sharon Green said, I'm there. Brother said, where's my ticket? Serious, man. All right. Can everybody press the pause button for a minute? I got a question I need to ask. I need an answer to this question. It's not about this. It's just off subject. What's the name of the movie that George Clinton put together about the space invaders coming and taking black people up to Mars or for their melanin, and they was trading the United States government for melanin for black people. And space invaders, is it called? Space traders. Can y'all 16? Can you look up space traders for me? I'm gonna finish with the speech, but can y'all look up space traders? Am I on? Is that Al Kamar? You familiar with that? Was that a George Clinton song too? I'm not sure. I need to know the name of that film. I gotta get the name of the film. Renee Brooks, peace. What's good? Salute from the Bay. Peace in town. Alright. Brother Shah, what's up? Space Traders. It was Cosmic Slop. Alright, Space Traders. Oh, Cosmic Slop, Space Traders. Oh, okay, cool. It's on YouTube. Alright. Space Traders. Thank you. I needed to know that because that concept of other entities doing business with the United States government and the United States government trading black people for this for melanin is critical. And I think inside the movie it talked about you had to have a certain degree of melanin in your body and they was judging you by your skin. But that's a whole other subject. Let's get back to Malcolm.
This is the only difference. They don't practice what they preach. Whereas South Africa preaches and practices the same thing. I have more respect for a man who lets me know where he stands, even if he's wrong, than the one who comes up like an angel and is nothing but a devil.
Was Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam, were they correct in their assessment of America? Nikki Nicole said, Cosmic Slop, thank you. Was Malcolm X correct in his assessment of America? All right, that's one of the questions I want to put out there. All right, let's go.
The system of government that America has consists of committees. There are 16 senatorial committees that govern the country, and 20 congressional committees. 10 of the 16 senatorial committees are in the hands of Southern racialist senators who are racialists. 13 of the 20, this was before the last election. I think it's even more so now. 10 of the 16 committees, senatorial committees, are in the hands of senators who are Southern racialists. 13 of the 20 congressional committees were in the hands of Southern congressmen who are racialists, which means out of the 36 committees that govern the foreign and domestic direction of that government, 23 are in the hands of Southern racialists.
Okay. So we have to be that analytical when it comes to studying all our leaders from the past, and some of our leaders are now ancestors. All right. We can't be so quick to judge. We can't be so quick to condemn. All right. Like I said, we got to carry into practice the things that not only Malcolm, but all of our ancestors have put in place, because they were the ones that fought, bled, and died. All right. That we could even be on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on IG, even having this conversation. All right. All right. Malcolm X's assassination. All right. Or should we continue the debate? You think we should continue what he said about the debate? Let's not get to the assassination. Hold on. Hold on. We're going to get right back to it. All right. Let's go.
men who in no way believe in the equality of man, and men who do anything within their power to see that the black man never gets to the same.
Truth Talk Nation, this hat right here is $35. It's a four-sided, it's got Sirius, you'll say Sirius Mindz, got the ProfessorGrtiff here, and of course the 3D stitching in the front, the Sirius Mindz logo. I'm going to talk about the merchandise thing on Thursday, along with, I'm going to talk about this on Thursday, the mic check 1212, just asking everybody that are artists out there that have songs, if they want to submit their music for us to play live on the air and we do a critique. Alright, it's a submission fee, but send your songs in. I'm going to talk about it on Thursday. I'm going to give you the actual website, and I'm going to give you the email address to send the songs to. Alright, mic check 1212. Alright, the mic check 1212. But we're going to talk about that on Thursday. We'll talk about the merch on Thursday also. Alright, definitely. But now keep in mind, so the thing on Wednesday, it's going to be starting June 5th on Wednesday nights now. This is not a Sirius Mindz thing. This is a ProfessorGrtiff thing. Alright, so I don't want y'all to get it confused. Alright, because people might submit some songs with some subject matter and some other stuff that's way to the left. I don't want to tarnish the brand when we got people like 16 and other people that work hard to bring it up to this level. We can't start polluting it. I don't know what people are going to send me. Alright, so we got to play it on here, but it's going to be a ProfessorGrtiff thing. Alright, remember, it starts June 5th. Alright, June 5th. But this Thursday, I'm going to talk about it. It's going to be a very different show because I'm not going to be here in the studio to do the show. I got a graduation to go to. Congratulations to Isis, who's graduating high school. Alright, and all those other individuals that are graduating, brothers and sisters, family members, whatever, that's graduating high school. I could not wait to get out of high school. You understand what I'm saying? Seriously, so much so I got so frustrated with high school, I ain't even go to the graduation. I said, yeah, y'all can mail that shit to me for real. I'm out. I'm dead serious. I was like, Audi 5 G's. Alright. Alright. Let's dive back into and sum this Malcolm X tribute up. Alright, then we'll move forward. Alright.
Seat or to the same level that they're on. The reason that these men from that area have that type of power is because America has a seniority system. And these who have that seniority have been there longer than anyone else because the black people in the areas where they live can't vote. And it is only because the black man is deprived of his vote that puts these men in positions of power that gives them such influence in the government beyond their actual intellectual or political ability, or even beyond the number of people from the areas that they represent. So we can see.
All right, let's shift from the Oxford debate. All right, let's shift to Malcolm X debates. Bayard Rustin. All right, civil rights pioneer Bayard Rustin. Okay, hold on.
The problem can never be stated in terms of black and white. And any movement which begins by blotting out the active cooperation of the best minds, many of which are white as well as black, is fighting a losing battle.
South Africa doesn't preach freedom. Russia doesn't call itself the leader of the free world. It's America that looks upon herself and represents herself as the leader of the free world while she has 20 million black people here who aren't even citizens. It is for this reason that America is doomed, and it is for this reason that we who follow the Honorable Elijah Muhammad feel that our only hope is not integration with a doomed society, but complete separation from a doomed society.
It was a great debate, and I kept saying, when I listened to it, I said, stand your ground, Bayard, stand your ground. Bayard was really trying to get Malcolm to see that it's a world community, a human community, a family in the United States, and But Malcolm was talking like Marcus Garvey, separate.
Democratization and socialization the Negro cannot do alone. As we follow this form of mass action and strategic nonviolence, we will not only put pressure on the government, but we will put pressure on other groups which ought by their nature to be allied with us.
Ed Rustin, I don't know about that, man. Yeah, you're right, Paul. I don't know. Yeah, I think so, Paul. Yeah. And I think that was one of the things that got in Ed Rustin's left ear, is that other entity. All right. Let's go to a Berkeley student asking Malcolm X a question. We probably won't be able to get to the whole thing, but I wanted to try to find short clips so we can get it in small sound bites, so we can, be able to discuss it. Because I think a lot of times we leave it up to young people and people that's just getting introduced to this kind of body of work. We leave it up to them to draw up their own conclusions on Malcolm, or they'll watch a YouTube clip and without even hearing Malcolm for themselves or reading the autobiography of Malcolm X, they want to sum Malcolm up. And then the only thing they come up with is Elijah Muhammad killed Malcolm, Minister Farrakhan created the atmosphere to kill Malcolm, the Muslims killed Malcolm, and really that's it. Malcolm was this, Malcolm was that. Malcolm was a real Muslim because he changed and he left the nation of it. Come on. That information is, you can find online if you do some cross-referencing and some deeper research. Nation of Islam did not kill Malcolm X. Alright? So, if we had time, we could sit and kind of piece apart the whole thing, but we just don't have that kind of time to do that. Alright? We have to do critical analysis. We have to study. We have to get our personality out of the way, our ego out of the way, wanting to be right all the time. No, and we do have to understand something I said last year with some people, not last year, a few years ago, which people try to come at me in a real slick, sly kind of way. They said the Nation of Islam killed Malcolm, and I'm saying, well, let me ask you something. And I'm just throwing this out there. If you in a gang and you get kicked out of the gang, can you run around the country talking about the gang leader and get away with it? No, that's not going to work. And I'm talking on a street level. I ain't talking about an organization. Did y'all know that Malcolm was the one that trained those killers in the Nation of Islam? Them brothers that went and took care of that business, put that work in? So I'm saying to you, if you can't join the gang called the Pickleheads, you understand what I'm saying? And the coleslaws, right? And the sauerkrauts. If you join them and leave the sauerkrauts, you can't run around the country talking about the sauerkrauts now. You understand what I'm saying? Nah, it don't work that way, man. So, the Nation of Islam, under the guidance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, dealt with the domestic life of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and tied Malcolm in to that, and all that information is out there for us to study. There's no reason why we need to keep regurgitating the same thing that the white press, the white media, the white propaganda machine, all right, puts out there. All right, we have enough information that we can deal with that. All right. The reason why I'm choosing the clips very carefully that I'm playing is because them same tired subjects that we keep fighting and arguing over, I'm not going to play them, man. I'm just not. All right? All right. We're almost about to sum this up. This is Malcolm's debate with James Farmer, June 12, 1963.
It just seems to me, and I don't want to pursue this further, but it just does seem to me that the president isn't denying the validity of the action, of mass demonstration, of what has taken place on the part of your movement, Mr. Walker, your movement, Mr. Farmer, but rather is saying this must now be institutionalized, which is what I should imagine you gentlemen would want.
Well, you can't compare the revolt of farmers with the revolt of black people in this country, because if the farmers are revolting over more or less corn, which is in no way involves the Constitution or what this country is supposed to stand for, but the black man in this country is supposed to be getting freedom. The country is supposed to be based on that. Democracy, freedom, justice, equality, and all that stuff that they teach us in school. And now, why should the black man have to go to court to get freedom when a white man in this country is free when he's born? Why should the black man need some legislation to prove that he's a human being when you don't need any legislation to prove that whites are human beings? So I make this point because, to come right back to my initial statement at the outstart of the program, you will never get real freedom and recognition between black and white people in this country without destroying the country, without destroying the present political system, without destroying the present economic system, without rewriting the entire Constitution. It will be a complete destruction of everything that America supposedly stands for before a white man in this country will recognize a black man as something on the same level with himself. And this is why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the best way to solve the problem is complete separation. Let the black man, those of our people in this country who want to, have a country of our own where we can go and stand on our own feet and solve our own problems and not have to continue going to court or waiting for some politician to legislate for another 100 or 2 years to prove.
Alright, so now, Malcolm had a few debates. Alright? Malcolm set forth and was probably one of the best spokesmen for the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam. Alright, pushing the Nation of Islam's program. Alright? Malcolm was probably the probably one of the best fruit, FOI, that pushed the program, sold the paper, and brought followers into the Nation of Islam, because Malcolm was one of those brothers that roared out of prison, had the teachings, and went out to the streets, and he spoke to the people. So much so that when Spike Lee was putting together the film, trying to find some place to play Malcolm was very, very, very difficult. All right?
Articulate, perceptive, courageous, outspoken. Just a few of the adjectives that so inadequately describe Malcolm X. Few singular personalities have emerged on the national and international scene to so excite and stimulate interest in the plight of 22 million Afro-Americans in the USA. Controversial? Without a doubt. Not only speaking out the agonies of 22 million members of the black masses, but effectively voicing the guarded views and opinions of many of his detractors in the Negro elite. Indeed, Malcolm X Speaks Again is particularly timely as the spirit and status of this great human, even after physical death, continues to live and grow. We are privileged to again hear the voice of Minister Malcolm X.
What you're about to hear just for a few minutes before we check out of here, because we only have 15 minutes left, is Malcolm X, the ballot or the bullet. Does the ballot work today in 2019? Does the vote work? All right? How many of us have went all the way left and picked up the and discarded the ballot and went to the bullet? Is there an in-between? Is there another alternative? Is it that economics? What is it? Is it unity? Is it black power? What is it that's going to bring us together and move us forward so we can get independent and get some of this land that we can call our own? Or do we even want that? Or we just want to mesh into America and just live happily ever after? All right, what is it that we collectively want? Do we want to just scoop up Becky Asaflack and her dog and just marry her and melt right on into America and just become, good old American citizens? All right, is it black empowerment? What does black empowerment mean, though? All right, empowered to do what? All right, so this is Malcolm X's ballot or the bullet. We have a decision to make. Each one of us, individually and collectively, we have some decisions to make. All right, and we need to be mindful of those decisions that we need to make.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome the opportunity to come into your home.
Sir, I would like to know what your position is on nonviolence.
Well, nonviolence is one of the things that has disarmed the so-called Negro here in America. And any Negro leader who teaches our people to be nonviolent in the face of the violence that we've been experiencing for the past 400 years is actually doing our people a disservice.
Right.
In fact, it's a crime. It's a crime for any Negro leader to teach our people not to do something to protect ourselves, especially in the face of the violence that is inflicted upon us by the white people here in America. And whenever you teach a man to turn the other cheek or to be nonviolent, what you're actually doing is disarming the victim of white brutality. You're robbing him of his right to defend himself. In fact, the only time it's intelligent to be nonviolent is when you're dealing with someone else who's nonviolent. That's right. I'm nonviolent with those who are nonviolent with me. This is intelligent. But just as you see other people doing whatever is necessary to protect themselves, it's time today for the 22 million Afro-Americans to feel free to do whatever is necessary to protect ourselves. Take, for an example, in the Constitution, it gives a person the right to have a rifle or a shotgun. And in areas in this country where the government has proven itself either unwilling or unable to defend the black people, it is time for the black man to stand up and start defending himself. Not to go out and initiate acts of aggression against whites or initiate acts of aggression against anyone. But in areas where we see that the government will not protect us or defend us or find those who have brutalized us and made us the victims for the past 400 years, then it is time for us to do whatever is necessary to defend ourselves. And it should be emphasized that by this I don't mean that we should go out and look for trouble or start trouble or initiate acts of aggression. But we should feel that we're within our human rights, our civil rights, and within the rights of intelligence to do whatever is necessary when we are attacked to defend ourselves. In fact, the best thing to teach our people is never to be the aggressor, never to look for trouble. But anytime anyone makes any effort to brutalize us or to inflict wounds upon us, we should feel that we are within our rights to do whatever is necessary to repel them. Do nothing unto anyone, but always do whatever is necessary to keep others from doing to you, which they've been doing for the past 400 years, making us the victims of brutality.
But is it not a fact, Minister, that people like Dr. Martin Luther King, who have advocated nonviolence, have been successful with their nonviolent moves?
Well, they've been successful in going to jail. They've been successful in becoming the victims of police dogs and police clubs and water hoses. If Dr. Martin Luther King feels that this is the best way to gain freedom, justice, and equality for our people in this country, well and good. I have no criticism of him whatsoever, but I think that the time has come now where the masses of black people feel that nonviolence shouldn't be taught to us unless it's also taught to the white people in this country. And black people shouldn't be taught to turn the other cheek unless the white people are taught to turn the other cheek. Now, if Dr. Martin Luther King can be so successful in disarming Negroes, they should send him to Russia and let him disarm the Russians. Let him disarm some of these other countries where...
That may sound good in philosophy, Minister Malcolm, but I still have to take the stand that Dr. King has been a degree successful with the non-violence movement. Now, let us take the March on Washington, for instance. Was this not something that exemplified the feeling of the Negro and made everyone very, very happy?
It depends on whether or not anything was gotten out of it. In fact, yes, it probably made them happy. Most of the people I saw involved in the March on Washington looked very, very happy. In fact, they looked too happy to be involved in a Negro revolt. So that...
All right, we're about to shut this down. We've been on since 9 o'clock. It's going on 11 o'clock. So, brothers and sisters, family, I'm laughing because it's like, I've heard this like 100 times, but it's like hearing it now in 2019, it just resonates with, so much of what's going on and what people are thinking and feeling. He said if Dr. Martin Luther King was so successful in disarming Negroes, why don't we send him to Russia? Why don't we send those kind of people today that as taking up the baton of this whole nonviolent movement, and let's have them go on the white people's side and disarm them. And it's like, when are we ever going to learn? Or have we learned from the past? All right? What have we pulled from the life of Malcolm X, a man who sacrificed his life for us? What have we pulled? What have we learned? What have we taken and passed on to our children? All right? Let's think about these things as we bring this conversation to a close.
Insofar as the March on Washington producing meaningful results, most of the masses of black people today, in this year, are beginning to see where nothing came of it other than the fact that it gave many of the bourgeois Negroes a chance to feel that they were doing something without really having to do anything. It became a status symbol. Just like going to the Kentucky Derby is a status symbol for those who know nothing about horses. They like to be able to say they went to the Kentucky Derby and they can't tell a horse from a cow. Or the Rose Bowl game. They like to be able to say they went to the Rose Bowl game and they don't know a football from a baseball. But the fact that they can say they went to the Rose Bowl game is a status symbol. Or the fact that they can say they went to the Kentucky Derby is a status symbol. So many Negroes took the opportunity to say that they were in the March on Washington. Not that it produced anything, or not that they really felt that they were involved in a Negro revolution, but it gave them a chance to say, I was there. It was a status symbol. But status symbols don't take us out of the alleys and out of the ghettos and out of the slums. Status symbols don't remove segregated school systems. Status symbols don't get meaningful civil rights legislation. So when it comes to the March on Washington and all of these other nonviolent approaches, they were good in their day. But this is a new day, and it's a new Negro.
But we will have to agree, Minister Malcolm, that the March on Washington was the forerunner to the creation of, or at least to the presentment of, the Civil Rights Bill. Without this type of approach, I doubt seriously that the Civil Rights Bill would have even been entered onto the floor.
A horse can enter into the race and come so far from the finish line that you don't even know that that horse was in the race. And since the March on Washington was designed to produce meaningful civil rights legislation, and if I recall, I heard several of the leaders of it point out that we'll be back if the bill meets with any kind of opposition come September. They said this in August. Now, September passed, and the bill, it didn't even come up. October passed, November passed, December passed, the year passed, everything passed, and the bill hasn't been passed yet.
All right, family. If you're listening, we're listening to Malcolm X, the Ballot of the Bullet, the Q&A section of the Ballot of the Bullet. Most times when we hear Malcolm X's Ballot of the Bullet, we hear the speech part of it. But this is beautiful to hear how these questions was posed and asked to Malcolm, and to see how Malcolm answered it. Of course, Malcolm was very politically astute. He knew the teachings and the program of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but he also knew politics. All right, he knew religion. All right, both on a local and global scale. And we have to be well versed. All right, if we're going to take to the front lines to put forth the agenda to educate the masses of our people with these platforms that we have to be well versed and well studied. All right. We're about to bring this conversation to a close. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, whether it was IG, whether it was Facebook, excuse me. And definitely over here on my YouTube channel. That's www.youtube.com/C/Sirius. Where's it at? That's Mindz. Sirius Mindz. Alright, y'all got that? Alright, make sure y'all write that down. Alright? The YouTube channel is Sirius Mindz. I just want to let everyone know I got some gear on deck. The Sirius Mindz hats. Alright. Now we're gonna do a separate show on Thursday to talk about some of the merchandise that I'm getting in as we speak. There's two-tone hats. There are hats, just basically all colors, whatever hat you want. Alright. Some got Professor Grip on the back, some just says Sirius Mindz. Alright. Of course we got some t-shirts on deck. If I can find them. We got the Sirius Mindz t-shirt. It says Sirius Mindz. Alright. Sirius Mindz. Sirius Mindz for Sirius Mindz. Alright. I got some more coming in. This was just the first run of them. Alright. Waiting for 16 to send me that list. Alright. I got a few on hold. And of course, I have Soleil's shirt that she had made. Alright, the Devi Tribe Wellness. Alright, it's about wellness. Devi Tribe Wellness. I think that's a fly logo. Alright. Yes. Alright. Alright, family. If there's no questions, let me see. Where am I going to be? I am headed to no, I was supposed to be in Portland. And then me and Soleil are gonna be at 640 Cafe in Atlanta on the 1st, I believe. And then on the 2nd, I think don't tell me that I think Alabama. Hold on, I had the schedule. I don't know what the hell happened to it. Here it is. I think, yeah. Nourishing the Goddess happened already in Decatur, Georgia. Elevation Empowerment, Bed-Stuy Mansion, that happened. Sunday with Soleil Dance and Sound Workshop at Soul House Retreat, Birmingham, Alabama, June 2nd. But the day before that, we're going to be here in Atlanta at Cafe 640. I'm not sure if they're changing the name. A full day retreat embodying the Goddess. Sisters, are y'all paying attention? Hydrotherapy Center, Atlanta, Georgia, June 29th. A full day retreat embodying the Goddess. I'm not sure if she has any slots open for that still, because it filled up kind of quick. And then Nourishing the Goddess in Nicholas, Brooklyn, New York, July 20th. That's July 20th in Brooklyn, New York. Nourishing the Goddess. Alright, then Nourishing the Goddess again at the Source of Life. We're not doing that in Jersey. That's canceled. Jersey, just Knicks Jersey on the 21st. Not happening. Nourishing the Goddess at the Pan-African Connection with myself and Professor Smalls. Alright? June 29th is sold out, Soleil just said. Alright, June 1st, we're going to be at Wizards of Raw in Atlanta, Tassili spot in Atlanta. Alright? Alright, that's June 1st. June 29th is sold out. Wow, okay. So scrap that, sisters. It's already sold out. And then we're going to be in Dallas, Texas on September 28th with Professor Smalls. And of course, we're going to be at Nicholas, Brooklyn on July 21st. I see us in one of those places. Alright? Come out and support the program. Alright? Anyway, I love y'all to life. I got to get out of here. We done put in 2 hours tonight. Oh, yeah. We done put in 2 hours tonight, which was a beautiful thing. I didn't feel it was long and drawn out. We had to hear Malcolm for himself. So if you stay tuned to the end of the broadcast on YouTube, we're going to show my video Behind Enemy Minds and, of course, Soleil's video, The Formula. All right? If you're on the gram or you on the book, make sure you go over to YouTube, put in Professor Griff, Behind Enemy Minds, and Soleil Pranayama and Soleil, The Formula. All right? Hustle is working on Under the Veil, so about to release that in a minute. All right? Get y'all some merch. Donate to the channel. All right? The Cash App is $ Professor Griff. Donate a food stamp, Captain Crunch coupon, whatever you got. I'm just saying, know what I mean? Make something happen. All right? All right. All right, I love y'all in life. I got to get ready to get out of here. Stay tuned for the videos here on YouTube. All right. Everybody on the book, man. Peace. This is Professor Griff for Sirius Mindz. Sirius Mindz for Sirius Mindz. Seriously. Peace. Don't forget, June 5th. Alright? June 5th. Y'all still got them on the book over here.
Under the veil is tales, lies, and secrets. Into the heart impales, dies you're seeking. But what you thinking is veil, blind, and bleak when it's your mind and your soul that needs to be deep in. See beauty skin deep. You're a shallow pond. There's an ocean of wisdom you need to paddle on. Take a dive in. Many jewels there. Your only interest is surface shit and fool's fair. You're a goddess. Take your rightful place. Tear the veil and stare a picture right in the face. Divine feminine. can't be suppressed. Shakti is the energy that we manifest. Queen rule here, we the deadly tribe. Take a hit of this tantra and feel the Kali vibe. Peel away the cloak, scrape away the scales, and see the truth of what lies behind all the fallen veils. Trying to be, cause the yachtman is blanketed like a canopy. Antithetical, saying that you real when your identity lies in all that you don't reveal. Third eye blind, eyes to contact, so you can open the lotus up like a compact. Become an offering, something more to give than the physical body that can't forever live. Rooted in passion, before the right cause. Spiritual wisdom and knowledge that make you have pause. Then let it transmute, metamorphosize. See the truth of awakening right before your eyes. If it's perception, the real magic. For you to miss all this glory, it would be tragic. So get to tearing the veil as if it was fabric, and find yourself on the path, walking the labyrinth.
Now you have dominion over the planet, that you have the capacity to do anything that you so put your mind to, etc. Now that puts you into a whole different reflection of self.
I'm mixing herbs in this kitchen. Almost 20 years since you listened. Sipping Brahmi tea and reminiscing. Some of y'all been wishing that I manifest this reinvention. Hood degree to heightened intuition. Pineal won't glisten. With the title Shifu I've been christened. Mount Meru, I'm focused on this mission. Mantras and I'm blissing. Unapologetic, no permission. Needed for this consciousness ascension. Disease of disconnection and remission. Shifting your perception like magician. No time to entertain your superstition, not to mention my intention and illusion, abolition and a goddess coalition, serving lyrical nutrition is the show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I'ma teach you how to love. Teach you how to love, I can teach you how to love. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I'ma teach you how to love. teach you how to love. I can teach you how to love. Where's your focus and your mind at? Who holds the vision, holds the power, underline that. Is your reality created from the minds that seem to destroy your godness and undermine that which you've been given as divine capabilities? That's activated when you vibe at higher frequencies and manifest the things you thought impossibilities. Focus in realms where there's no improbabilities, no instability.
Follow the white rabbit onto another planet. We gotta tear the fabric, exploring every facet, mortar and pestle agate, destroying every habit until you free it and you see all that you need, you have it. Disease of disconnection, distorting your perception. You need some introspection to see your God reflection, away from forced deflection, a path of course correction. We come in peace, becomes the wage of conscious insurrection.
Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I'ma teach you how to love. Teach you how to love, I can teach you how to love. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I'ma teach you how to love. Teach you how to love, I can teach you how to love.
Higher level, lotus, flower, stira, sukha, cedar, power. Higher levels, lotus, flower, stira, sukha, cedar, power. Higher level, lotus, flower, stira, sukha, cedar, power. Higher levels, lotus, flower, stira, sukha, cedar, power.
I clearly understand that every experience that we have is an opportunity for us to grow and to learn more about ourselves, and truly is an initiation into our God self.
I'ma teach you how to love, teach you how to love. I can teach you how to love. I'ma teach you how to love, teach you how to love. I can teach you how to love. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I'ma teach you how to love. Teach you how to love, I can teach you how to love.
What you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I'ma teach you how to love. Teach you how to love, I can teach you how to love. Hey! Whoa!
Bodies in a mosh pit. The rebel caught in the crosshairs. I move in silence, black fists in the air. The game plan is simple. Beat go on a metal, shade on the mental. Now here's a gift from the rebel. Bootsy's bass, Hendrix on the treble. The X-Minister is back. Classic tactics, factual magic. The mind border without a visa. Classic rebel, trailers and teasers. The revolution's the theme. I'm back in black with the mind of Dessalines. Get the green, black and red in. Heavy mental to get your head in. Get the green, black and red in. Ghetto metal right down to the dead end. Subject from a vector sets. The rebel sets the set behind enemy minds, yo. Subject from a vector sets. The rebel sets the set behind enemy minds, yo. Overdose on this conscious shit. Hypnotic, soul is toxic, 10%. 1% got me vexed. Actual facts, Sirius Mindz on deck. There's level to the script. For the radical, factual, mentally fit. The sacrifice meant life or death. When the invalid spirit till I take my last breath. The mau in the blood veins align my chakras to ease the pain. Beats and bars, no verbal confusion. Bruises and scars, no lyrical excuses. Monk and Miles time to realign behind enemy minds. Get the green, black and red in. Heavy mental to get your head in.
some tea.
All right, hold up. Let me move this book out the way so we can make some space. All right, what kind of tea is this?
To help you write a hit song tea.
Whoa, what kind of tea is it? Why is it pink?
Because it's the Gucci tea.
That don't even sound like that can go good going down. How's that going to help me think?
It's the brain go-to cola tea.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Subject for a vet, the sex, the rebel sex, the sex behind enemy mind.